What are the differences between a switch and router? How switches are different from routers? Let's discuss one by one. First of all, from the look we can see that switches they usually have many ports and routers they have few ports. Why? Because switches they have to connect many devices to form a network, while routers they just simply have to connect different networks together. So usually we don't want to connect so many networks together. That's why we don't need so many ports. Also, each port on a router will cost us so much, so we have to decide a router wisely. Although there are so many routers with many ports, but they become so much expensive devices, so we have to choose router model wisely. Let's discuss the differences one by one. Switches, first of all, they work on layer 2 of OSI model, and routers they work on layer 3 of OSI model, which means what? Which means that switches they will be working with MAC addresses with physical addresses of each port, while routers they usually deal with logical addressing with IP addressing. Switches usually have many ports and routers have few ports, which we have discussed just now. Switches are usually low cost devices as compared to routers. Routers are expensive. Why? Because routers they have to do so many sophisticated jobs. Routers they have to open up the whole IP packet. They have to read the whole header of IP packet. They have to make decisions for routing based on that, while switches they don't have to perform these kind of heavy workload based tasks. Switches they create a single network of devices, while routers they connect different networks together. So they do not connect devices to make a network, they connect different networks together, while switches they combine so many devices together, they make one network, and then router they connect further those networks. So we have two layers. Switches they provide high data rates, while routers they provide low data rates. Why? Because they have to perform so many sophisticated jobs. Data frame forwarding decisions are made using layer 2 frames and MAC addresses, while in router these decisions are made through layer 3 IP packets, layer 3 headers and IP addresses. Switches they could provide high data rate, while routers they provide low data rate. Most of the switches they do not need to be configured before we start using them. We simply go to the market, buy a switch, bring it home or to our office, plug and play, power up, and then it will start working. While routers, when we bring to home, we have to do some basic configurations like IP addressing and all of that. Operations like best path selection in routers are carried by special hardware, while in routers it is done through software. That's why they are expensive, they are slow, but they are performing so many sophisticated jobs as well. Switches, if a layer 2 frame is received by a switch with unknown destination, then the frame is dropped. Then the frame is broadcasted, while in routers the frame is dropped, it is not forwarded. So routers do not encourage broadcasts, while switches they work based on the broadcast. So these are some of the basic differences between switches and routers.